Hello. Welcome to part 2 of making resolutions that stick. If you missed part 1, you definitely want to check that out for steps 1 through 3. Today, I'm diving in 4 through 7. So if you are tired of having resolutions that fizzle within a couple months and you want them to become more like healthy habits, you definitely want to tune in today. I am starting with number 4, which is a positive mindset. My name is Angie. Welcome to my channel, Quiet Confident Woman. I love building confidence in women, especially introverted women, and I love supporting you in building a life and a business around what brings you joy. If you love what you hear, definitely want to subscribe and share with your friends. If you don't already receive emails, you're gonna want to get those. They have tons of powerful information in them, and the link for that is in the notes below. All right, number 4 is keep your mindset in check. Stay positive. Our human nature is to think of the negative sides of things. If you're running after a goal, you think of all of the bad things that could happen, or you're trying something new, you think all of the ways that it could go wrong. We very rarely default to, oh, what could go right? So you want to definitely keep your mindset in check. And here's a couple of different ways that you can do that. First of all, visualize the end goal that you want to reach. Actually see it in your mind, see what it's going to look like, and picture that finished result all of the time, like daily. And not only do you want to see that finished result, but you want to see yourself taking the steps to get there. And I think a lot of people leave out that middle portion. They're so excited to see the end result, but they don't really picture themselves doing the things that need to be done to get there. The way our minds work is it doesn't know if what we're thinking or telling ourselves is truth or if it's not. And so if we are thinking and we are seeing this end result of a healthier us or a vacation spot we want to go or whatever it happens to be, our brain just automatically thinks that's real. So let's go ahead and think positively, visualize ourselves doing the things to get to where we want to be and keeping our mind in that positive mindset. The other thing to remember is there's going to be roadblocks. Life happens. And when we can kind of preemptively know what those roadblocks may be and plan for them ahead of time, it will help us stay positive on the journey. So if you have set the resolution that you have right now in the past, think about different things that maybe got you off kilter, that maybe derailed you a little bit, that set you back. If you've never reached the goal but you've tried, think of the things that have stopped you from getting there and then plan for those. Keep a positive mindset along the way, knowing that, hey, there's going to be roadblocks and that's okay. Life always will be happening around us and to us, but we can adjust and pivot right along with those different things. So if we know, say we want to shed a few pounds and we know that there is a birthday coming up in April that is going to have a ton of food and we're going to want to eat all the things, then we can decide ahead of time, what are we going to do to stay on track? Are we going to eat before we go so we eat less of the things that are there? Are we just going to go ahead and eat knowing that one day out of 365 days is not going to make a huge difference, and we just know that we're going to get right on track the next day and not beat ourselves up about it? So kind of know the things that may derail you and ways that you can navigate around those. The last thing I want to say about having a positive mindset and keeping things in check is to celebrate. Celebrate the small things all of the time, even daily. So as you're creating these resolutions or these year-long goals or whatever it happens to be, whatever you want to call them, those different, almost like checkpoints along the way where you check in every quarter or every month, whatever it is. Celebrate those benchmarks that you've made along the way. If you went to that birthday party in April and you ate all of the things and you were off track, but the very next day you got back on track, celebrate that. That is a huge achievement. Maybe one that you haven't done in the past where you fell off the bandwagon and were able to get right back on. That deserves some celebration. So keep those celebrations coming all throughout the year, not just when you reach that final goal. All right, number 5, be adaptable. As I had mentioned, life is going to happen. You do not know what is going to happen in the next year. We can't plan for so many things. So be more like a rubber band where you can go ahead and stretch and ebb and flow with things that come your way, versus more like a train where it has a specific track that it has to take. If it gets off the track, it is super hard to get back on, but a rubber band can kind of flex and move as it needs to. We don't know what God has for our year, and we can plan and strategize all we want. I love to do that. So this is very hard for me to be like, well, but things are not going the way I anticipated it. And then if this doesn't happen, then this is going to go wrong. And like, again, my head gets into all of these things of what's going to go wrong instead of what's going to go right. So make sure that as you're navigating through this next year with your resolutions or your goals, that you know that things may get off track. And it may be for our best interest, right? We don't know if that derailment or that little stretch that we need to make is for our own benefit at that moment until maybe we look back. And we might never know, but know that if you can stretch and you can ebb and flow with different things that come your way, you will be able to stay on track more than if you have a set mindset of not allowing all of the goodness to flow in ways that you've never expected it. Number 6 is be willing to learn. Always be willing to take in information, to adjust the way you're doing things, or to expand the knowledge that you have, whether it be through different books, whether it be through podcasts or listening to a speaker that you really are intrigued by. Maybe you have a friend who is where you want to be. Talk to that person and just be like, hey, can I pick your brain? What did you do to get here? What kept you on track? What keeps you motivated? Ask all of those kind of questions, and also be willing to learn from yourself. Look back at 2023. What are the things that you are so proud of the accomplishments that you did? Or maybe you did have a goal and you were able to come back on track after being stretched in a way you didn't think you were going to be. Look at all of those things and bring those strengths into 2024. And then look at the things that maybe you struggled with, or maybe you wanted to kind of like be on track a little bit more than what you were, and learn from those things and bring those lessons into 2024. There's always areas that we can learn from ourselves and from others, and they all will propel us forward. Number 7 is reflect and track your progress. So a year-long goal is really not something that should be accomplished in a couple weeks or even a couple of months. It's going to take the whole year to do it. And that's why breaking it down into either quarterly or even, I recommend, monthly little benchmark goals will help you keep on track. And so when you check in and you reflect back and you see where you've come in a month or 2 months or 4 months, it allows you to stay on track so much better, and also keep that positive mindset because you see the progress that you're making. Now, if you check in at, say, maybe month 1 and you're like, whoa, I am not anywhere close to this 1 month benchmark, a couple things may happen or may have happened. One, it might be that you thought you could accomplish a lot more than what you can. And that's okay. We all have to kind of start somewhere. And if you're like, yeah, I kind of bit off a little bit more than what I should have, then just kind of adjust a little bit. Maybe your year end goal has to be adjusted a little bit. But remember, this is something that we want to do for a lifestyle change, not just for a one-time thing. So if your 1 month goal needs to be a year and a half, or your 1 year goal needs to be a year and a half, that's okay. It's still better than not accomplishing it at all, right? And it's changing you for the better for your life. So go ahead and check in. If you have not hit that 1 month, it might just be it was a little too excessive. If you've not hit it and you're like, man, I feel like I did so much work and I don't have any I don't have any success, or I don't have any proof that I did all of these different things for as far as I thought I would have come, then it's time to kind of check in and see, okay, why didn't you make that? Why didn't you reach that benchmark goal that you had? Is it because it was not realistic? Is it because you thought you were doing the things but you really weren't? I know in the past when I've checked in with myself, there have been times where I'm like, okay, yeah, I don't even know why I thought I could accomplish all that, because no human, when you look at it realistically, could have done that. And then I knew I had to adjust my expectations a little bit differently to be more realistic. But other times I've looked and I'm like, there's no reason why I shouldn't have created that. And I'm like, and I don't understand why I didn't do it. And I saw that I didn't have the work in for it. I didn't do the thing. I thought about it a lot. I thought about doing the thing a lot, but I didn't actually do the thing. So, maybe it's you want to go to the gym 3 times a week, and you're like, okay, I'm going to go to the gym on this day. And oh, nope, I didn't have time today. I'm going to go to the gym on this day. And then you look back at the days that you actually went to the gym, and it was really once, maybe twice a week that you went, but you thought about it all the time, and it felt like you were constantly there because you were constantly thinking about it, which can overwhelm you and just allow you to feel completely burnt out, even though you were not actually doing the thing. So I heard something yesterday that I really loved, and I want to share it with you. I heard the doer reaps the blessing, not the hearer or the thinker. So when we hear things but don't act upon it, or when we are thinking constantly about something but don't act upon it, we probably are not going to reap the blessing of actually doing it. Oh my gosh, that hit me. I was like, oh, so true, so true. All right, my friend, I thank you so much for joining me today. I really truly hope that this year is a year that your resolutions turn into habits. I'm cheering you on, rooting for you. Reach out if I can support you in any way. I will see you next time.